finally, after getting swept by the Vancouver Canucks in the 2021 season, after losing 3-2 to the Vancouver Canucks in the 2021-22 season, after giving up two unacceptable shorthanded goals against the Canucks in 2023, after getting screwed by the refs and the Canucks 6-4, and then after losing 2-1 to the Canucks in February 2025, as well as Kevin Lankinen getting a shutout, the Leafs finally beat the Vancouver Canucks in Vancouver for the first time since 2019. Leafs win 3-2 in the shootout over the Vancouver Canucks, and that's the end of the 6-game losing streak. Hell to the yeah, baby. Now, again, the game was great. What a game. But it was mediocre because we were supposed to beat a team that isn't good. I'm talking about the Vancouver Canucks. They're not that good this season. And we were supposed to blow them out. I know it was a close game, but oh man. It is what it is. The game was just pathetic. Well, it was good, just mediocre because the Leafs could have just beat. I don't know. The reason this game was good but also mediocre at the same time was because we could have beaten the Canucks, a team that the Leafs were able to beat, that they should have beaten. But unfortunately, this isn't the 5-0 win over the Canucks. This isn't like any typical win. This is just a game. Any typical game, and I don't know what the hell's going on with the team. But you know what? It is what it is. Game, set, match. Leafs win the game. So let us get to the game, because this one was a much-needed win. We needed this game. We needed this win. Let's go. First period of the game, again, had their chances off of Mr. T for the goaltender. I don't know his full name. To any Canucks fans who know the goaltender who was playing in this game against the Leafs, comment down below, because I don't know his name. So we had every shot. Leafs had opportunities to get score. Had opportunities off of Mr. T, but Mr. T was gonna do what Mr. T does. The same with Joseph Woll. He was like off the charts there. First period, could have stopped the goals there, but he did what he did. Okay, good stuff. And the Leafs and the Canucks remain 0-0. It's a 0-0 game coming into the end of the first period. Second period rolls around. Oh my God, it was actually very close. Yet the Leafs were down 2-1. The same thing happened again when the Leafs were down 2-1 to the Columbus Blue Jackets. And look what happened. Now you're playing against the Canucks, mind you. And yet look what happens. Okay? First off, Leafs give up the puck. They hand it over to, you guessed it, Jonathan Lekermaki? I think I'm saying his name right? I think so. And the Canucks take a 1-0 lead. All right, not a good start. So now you got to go and have, the best of the best. From Nick Robertson to Nicholas Waugh. And Nicholas Waugh scores to make it a tie game in Vancouver. It's a tie game, 1-1. And then, of course, oh my God, Tom Willander responds back with a goal, and the Leafs go down 2-1. It is actually not that close. It's 2-1 Canucks after the end of the third period. At the end of the second period. Now, this game could have been 3-1 Canucks, because this could have been 3-1. Thank God it was 2-1 Canucks. I mean, because of one goal. Because Elias Pettersson scores to make it a 2-0 Canucks game, but the Leafs review the play, and sure enough, they used their coach's challenge for goaltender interference. And lo and behold, Darius Garland. Oh wait, no, excuse me, not Darius Garland. Excuse me, wrong sport. Whoopsie doodles. Garland pushes off Joseph Woll. Therefore, it's a no goal. So you can't just push the goaltender and get a goal from there. You know how much cheeky that is? So now we go into the third period, trying to find a way to get away, try to get something. And lo and behold, Austin Matthews from Max Domi scores off of the face-off, I believe. From Austin Matthews, Max Domi trickles it off of Mr. T's back. The game is tied at 2. Now we're talking. I mean, close game from the second to the third period. It's close in the third period. I mean, the Canucks almost took the lead again, but Joseph Wool had to be dialed in. And same with Mr. T. Leafs had a chance to take the lead. But oh boy, not a good start. No. I mean, we couldn't even stop that. So now we go to overtime, where the Leafs had their opportunities to take the win and get the win. Most notably, you guessed it, the infamous penalty shot where Austin Matthews gets a penalty shot, and he doesn't get a penalty shot. He doesn't get it off. He gets denied. Canucks had their chances, no bueno. Leafs had their chances, especially when he had William Nylander coming off of the game. No bueno there. So now we go into the infamous game we call the shootout. And trust me, I hate the shootout because it goes against the Toronto Maple Leafs. It only goes as well against teams like the Habs, Sens, whatever the case may be. So let's get started. First, the Canucks they thought they scored the first player from the Canucks. They thought they scored the goal, but instead, guess who actually hits bar? So no goal on the Canucks for a shootout. Then William Nylander scores in the shootout. The game they take a 1-0 lead in the shootout. And then Elias Pettersson scores, nothing there, and Austin Matthews wins the game in the shootout. They win it 2-0 in the shootout, and they win 2-0 in the shootout round, and at least win it 4-3 in the shootout, and they end their 6-game losing streak. Thank God, because the way how the Leafs are playing, they were dead last in the Atlantic Division, and oh my God, I'm so bad that we were on a 6-game losing streak. You know how much I was pissed off last night against the Canucks. I didn't even get some sleep because I was so pissed off with the loss. But now, because the Leafs won against the Canucks, a team that they should have beaten, that is easily beatable, they did just that, and the Leafs won the game in the shootout. Unfortunately, we lost Morgan Rielly because of injury, upper body injury, and he doesn't return to the game. Well, that sucks. And then of course I go onto the my phone. I check Instagram, and people are like, I've been waiting for this for long." You gotta be kidding me. You don't celebrate a guy getting injured, man. Are you kidding me? It's like, you can't celebrate someone getting injured. That's not great. It sucks that we don't have Morgan Rielly. But at least we do have William Nylander returning from injury. Thank God. Thank God for that, because if we didn't have William Nylander, this wouldn't have been the case. And I'm so happy Leafs won. Thank goodness. Hold on a second. Hold on. Pardon me. I was a little something. I can't believe I'm getting a cold. Hold on. Yeah, I was feeling a little bit ill. Again. Oh, Lord. Yeah. So the next game for the Toronto Maple Leafs, they go to Calgary, and then they go to Edmonton on Tuesday. They play against the Calgary Flames on Monday. It's a 10 p.m. start for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and they've gotta keep building off from this win. They gotta win so they can get back into the playoffs. Either way, you can either retool or get back in the playoffs. Most importantly, I want the Leafs to get back into this playoff race immediately, because I do not want to be the team that's sitting in the bottom of the Atlantic Division where the other teams go on the rise and the Leafs get sidelined. I don't want to be sitting on the sidelines. I want to make the playoffs. I know we're gonna probably lose in the first round, but I don't care. I just want to make the playoffs and get over and move and go from there. Make the playoffs, and we gotta do what we gotta do. All right. I know I'm doing this in the basement because there's boxes there. Do not comment. This is just a temporary basement. This is just a temporary room, because even I could have just done this upstairs, but I decide, I don't know. Maybe that's just how it is, but don't mind about the basement, okay? Don't mind about the boxes, but you know what? It's Monday night. Leafs got to go and play against the Calgary Flames, and then they go play against the Edmonton Oilers to wrap up the first half. To wrap up the first half before heading into the Olympic break. And I'm hoping to God the Leafs can get the win against Calgary and the win against Edmonton. If the Leafs can get the win over the Canucks, over the Oilers, because last time the Leafs played against the Oilers, Dennis Hildeby was in net, and he allowed a total of 6 goals, and that is not good. So Leafs gotta pipe it up, gotta snap it up here. Let's go, let's keep going, okay? Let's go, Leafs! Yeah!